In order to help my kids understand the scale of the solar system and the galaxy and the universe as a whole, we constructed this scale model of the solar system in the street outside our house. Fortunately, we live at a dead end. In this model here, the sun is represented there, as you see, by a disk approximately an inch in diameter. And so given that, the rest of the solar system is to scale. And just to kind of put it in perspective, to show you where we're going here, that's Pluto, all the way down there, almost 400 feet away. Now at this scale, obviously the planets would not be visible as disks, but just for illustrative purposes, I've made marks on the tar indicating where they would be. And so the first up, of course, is Mercury, about 3 feet away. So there's the sun. And then next comes Venus. And then you are here, good old planet Earth. And I forget how far away that is exactly. I'll put that in the notes. And that's the rough distance from the Earth to the Sun, if the Sun were indeed an inch in diameter. And again, the Earth would just be a point of light. Of course, there's the aliens on their way. And the fourth planet from the Sun, Mars. Just so you can see. And there's the big cone representing the Sun there. Now we've got a bit of a walk. So we're going to go all the way. The next thing that comes up is the asteroid belt, approximately halfway between Mars and Jupiter. So here we are at the asteroid belt. And then we have a bit of a walk here to the king of planets, Jupiter. And there we are. And that first cone right there, the big cone, of course, is the Sun, and the first small cone is the Earth. I didn't have enough cones for all the planets. And here we are at Jupiter. Now, when I was doing this, at this point in time, I wasn't overly surprised about the scale distances I was seeing until we got to Saturn, which is over here. And as we got to the outer solar system, I became more and more surprised. And there we are, the ringed planet. And there's Jupiter. And then there's the Earth and the Sun. If you're wondering, I used an online app that scaled the distances based on the size of the Sun, which again in this model is an inch. So again, even the huge planets like Saturn and Jupiter down there would just be balls of light to the naked eye. So now we're on our way from Saturn to Uranus. And that cone right there is Uranus. So you can see the distance that we're talking about from Saturn all the way to Uranus. Barely fits in the view of my camera. So, pretending we're Voyager and we're leaving Saturn and are on our way to the 7th planet for a flyby. Now, bear in mind that in reality, the planets are in orbit around the sun, of course, and so they wouldn't be in a straight line. They would be in orbits, and so they would be off in different directions based on their individual orbits, which are not circular. They're ellipses, and so here we are at the planet Uranus, and all the way down there, that's the sun, and that's Earth. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, I think that's Saturn written on the tar there. But we're not done yet. We have 2 more planets to go, or 1, depending on if you classify good old Pluto as an actual planet. And you can see it's a bit of a walk. It's over 200 feet from the sun, if the sun were indeed only an inch in diameter. And here we are at Neptune, the planet Neptune. Just to put it in perspective, let's zoom into the inner solar system. And that's Jupiter, I believe. That's the Earth somewhere there, and the sun way back there at the end of the cul-de-sac. So in reality, all the way out here, even the sun probably wouldn't be a disk to someone standing on Neptune, if they could stand on Neptune. But here we are at the end of the recognized planets, but Pluto used to be a planet, still a planet as far as I'm concerned. So let's visit Pluto, shall we? And see how far Pluto is away. And I did have one more cone, and so there's Pluto there. So let's leave orbit of Neptune and flying really, really, really fast. We're on our way out to Pluto. Now this is where the scale of things really blew my mind. Because here we are at the very edge of the solar system, and the planet Pluto, and the sun is almost invisible. In fact, I kind of think it is invisible all the way down there somewhere. I think that's Jupiter, that cone that I see. Now the orbit of Pluto is very elliptical and very eccentric, which is one of the reasons why they don't really classify it as a planet so much these days as a planetoid. And so here we are. And then what lays out there in the great beyond? Well, beyond here somewhere is the Kuiper belt, the Oort cloud, and this is where comets and all of that come from. And it would be a very long way from here indeed. And just to kind of put everything in perspective, Pluto is a little shy of 400 feet from the sun from here. And again, this is to scale. So if the sun were an inch in diameter, this is where we would be at Pluto if everything were to scale. Now at this scale, the nearest star would be over 400 miles away from where I'm standing. The nearest star. So Pluto, approximately 400 feet. There's the inner solar system there. And again, at this scale, the nearest star would be over 400 miles away from where I'm standing. Unbelievable. Hard to imagine. That's why we did this, because the scale of the universe is very difficult to wrap your mind around. So let's fly back very fast from Pluto, and we're inbound to the sun. And even at this scale, you can see how far Neptune and Pluto are apart. And up next is Uranus. And that's a pretty hefty chunk of distance in and of itself. There's some interstellar dust or whatever that might be. And here we are, we've arrived at Uranus. So we're a spacecraft. We're coming into the inner solar system. We're visiting the planet Earth. We're going to shake howdy with the good folks of the planet Earth. And here we come. So we left Uranus and the beautiful ringed planet of Saturn. And here we are at Jupiter. Fly by. Whoosh. I wonder, in terms of scale, how fast we would be going. Certainly a significant percentage of the speed of light, I would imagine. And there's Mars. And you are here. Welcome to Earth.